From restaurants where food was a recipe for disaster to restaurants dealing with rodent infestations and major health risks, here's how bad it gets when Gordon Ramsay has to step in and shut a place down. Starting with Bella Luna in Pennsylvania. In 2010, Rosaria Scolo bought the Bella Luna restaurant for her son Gianfranco right after he finished culinary school. She wanted to give her young chef a shot and grow a family business around him, but as time went on, things became difficult to manage, and the reasons were pretty obvious. As a result, the restaurant barely managed to survive. The way the restaurant was run made the situation worse. According to the manager, Tracy, the way Rosaria handled things around her son raised a few eyebrows, especially when it came to who was really being held responsible. And not just that, the setup wasn't really welcoming, as nothing about it invited people to stay. To make matters worse, the restaurant was built on lies. Despite Rosaria's claim, the truth was the exact opposite. Fresh ingredients were hardly ever used, with freezers packed full of frozen stuff.
Ugh, how much chicken does one restaurant? Calamari is not even frozen. And here, voila, my delicious Italian mussels. Seriously, this is so overcooked.
So yeah, it's no surprise the food didn't turn out great. But what really pushed Gordon over the edge were some things he found in the kitchen during service. The situation got serious enough that Gordon had to put a stop to things on the spot. Rather than letting the owners hide from the truth, Ramsay forced them to face it. He staged a mock trial at a local courthouse and invited former customers to speak.
And apologise to every customer.
Yes.
I am shutting it down.
We here at Bella Luna apologize for any inconvenience to you wonderful people of this community tonight, but we are shutting it down. We are not worthy to continue this service.
Everything seemed to trace back to a kitchen without standards and owners who looked the other way.
A fly in the wedding suit. And it was kind of an embarrassment, and we just left it there because we just didn't want it.
All of our entrees came out at different times, making it very difficult to enjoy a family meal.
The food, everything just did not work out. But what really stood in my mind was I ordered a cannoli, and the cannoli was sour.
After the confrontation, changes came quickly, starting with an overnight dining room remodel, followed by a rebuilt menu focused on simple Italian dishes. After Bella Luna reopened, the response made it clear that people were eager to give the restaurant another chance. On the surface, things looked like they'd turned around, but the episode's ending showed that some bigger issues were lurking. It turns out they'd actually been behind on rent for several months. To make matters worse, state police also found that the restaurant had been selling alcohol with an expired license. Still, the restaurant tried reopening somewhere else. That plan never took off, and the place closed permanently. Next up, Gordon found himself at another restaurant where change was overdue and the pressure was on. The first sign that something was off at the Secret Garden in Moore Park, California came when Gordon found the front door locked during business hours.
This is locked. Where's the entrance?
The restaurant once had a strong reputation but no longer seemed truly open for business. Founded in 2000 by Michel Bar-David, a French chef from Leone who had built his name on fine dining and romance, the restaurant had been struggling to bring in cash for years, and Michel was buried in debt. Staff members felt stuck, saying change just wasn't happening because Michel wasn't really open to hearing what they had to say. On top of that, the dining room didn't do any favors either, as fake flowers lined the tables, lace covered just about everything, and the whole space felt cramped and old school. It didn't look like a modern restaurant, and younger customers were not drawn in.
I feel like I'm at Buckingham Palace. Jesus, what is that?
However, when Ramsay sat down to eat, it didn't take long to see the real issues. The real breaking point came when Ramsay inspected the kitchen and storage areas and discovered the mess.
The food's been in this fridge for so long, even the fridge has now started to get moldy. Look, just here, there's like mold caked on. Maggots, oh, infested with maggots. Oh, God.
And when Ramsay called Michel out on these, all he did was get defensive. To force reality to sink in, Ramsay shut down the restaurant and staged a public wake-up call. Eventually, Michelle faced the mess he'd let grow, and Ramsay stepped in to implement menu changes that could save the restaurant. But even then, later in the show, Ramsay and Michelle got into a serious argument.
You know,
You're a donkey.
My food been voted best chef in Ventura County.
What?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Don't push the
You put
finger.
your fucking hands up here. Listen to me.
Michelle was already heading back to his usual menu and habits, so Ramsay just had to step away for a bit. However, when everything cooled down, Michelle seemed pretty satisfied with the changes by the end of the show. But not long after, the secret garden began falling apart once he returned to his old ways. After years of struggling, Michelle began searching for a way out and decided to put the restaurant up for sale in 2015. After facing old habits and fading hope, Gordon walked into another place where leadership was clearly the problem. The Grasshopper also sat just outside the Meadowlands in Carlstadt, New Jersey, close enough to traffic and stadium crowds that it should have stayed busy. It was bought by Mitch and Maureen Sandler, along with Maureen's father, Ed Fitzpatrick, who everyone called Chief. Having spent 40 years in the industry, Chief had plenty of experience and wasn't shy about putting a big investment into this restaurant. But before long, things started going wrong, and the reasons were not hard to trace. Mitch was supposed to run the place day to day, but the staff did not see him as a leader. Because of this, the kitchen slowly fell into bad habits, and customers always complained about the food. As customers stopped coming in, the dining room grew quiet, and the restaurant became known for being mostly empty. When Gordon Ramsay arrived, he was met with that emptiness right away. On the first night, he tried the food and quickly saw why customers had disappeared.
The reason why they're not coming back is just watery. Damn.
That poor first impression led him straight into the kitchen and storage areas to see how things were really being handled.
Raw meat here, cooked meats, salami, blood in there. Fuck, serve that. It's like it's been left out for days and it's been attacked by cats.
All the things Ramsay found made continuing service impossible. He ordered everything contaminated to be thrown away and demanded a full deep clean of the kitchen. The next phase focused on trimming the menu down to a few Irish-American dishes aimed at improving quality control and consistency.
Welcome to the Grasshopper new menu. Clearly smaller. Why is it smaller? Quality, controlling the costs, and trying to get consistent.
And to steady things behind the scenes, Ramsay made sure someone experienced was there to guide the kitchen through what came next. When the restaurant reopened, customers responded really well.
Oh, wow.
Thank you very much.
But over time, the momentum didn't hold, and standards dropped once more. In October 2012, the Grasshopper also was sold, wrapping up the Sandler's run. Following one restaurant's struggles with management, Gordon moved on to another that was falling apart from the inside out. Prohibition Grill, owned by former professional belly dancer Rishi Brown, was the result of a spur-of-the-moment decision made one afternoon in 2008. With many years as a pro belly dancer and a dance company under her belt, she thought that experience would help her out.
Restaurant experience at all, but I felt like if I could run a successful dance company all of these years, surely I could operate a restaurant business.
But that confidence slowly turned into a massive problem, with even the staff complaining about how she was running things.
It doesn't go with the theme of our restaurant. It makes no sense. Customers think it's weird.
Meanwhile, Rishi handed full control of the kitchen to her head chef, Rocky, a 30-year veteran. But Rocky was rarely on the line and often disappeared for smoke breaks. With nobody calling him out, Rocky stayed comfortable while standards slipped and customers complained. The moment Gordon Ramsay showed up, those issues quickly became clear. The first service had its share of hiccups, and instead of handling them, Rishi was busy with something else rather awkward. Guests just sat there, not really sure how to react, while food delays kept piling up in the background.
Rocky, could you put these steaks on just a tiny bit more?
Hi guys, this is just in the last 5 minutes.
The kitchen was already falling apart, and a closer look behind the scenes.
What is this, guys?
Oh my God.
Trout. What is new trout, old trout? Just feel how sticky that is on top. That's the old trout, and that there
only raised more questions about how things were being handled. That was the moment Ramsay decided things couldn't continue as they were.
Ladies and gentlemen, whatever you're eating now, Just stop.
Ramsay made it clear that Rishi had been making the wrong calls and a lot needed to change. Rishi finally let Rocky go, and he admitted he'd already checked out. With him gone, a reset could finally happen. In no time, the restaurant was updated with a more focused style that made the space feel refined and more inviting. Ramsay also brought in Chef Tyler Pelagi to take control of the kitchen and train staff properly. Instead of trying to do everything, the menu was narrowed to a smaller lineup the kitchen could get right. With all these in place, the relaunch went smoothly and business picked up.
I'm so excited that Everett has a restaurant like this. I know.
But over time, some old habits returned. Rishi brought back belly dancing by early 2016, which reopened the same identity problems. Before you knew it, a few months had passed, and someone named Brenton Holland had taken over the restaurant. While that spot managed to find its footing again, elsewhere, the problems were more than just service going wrong. At this restaurant, by the time the front door lights came on each morning, owner Rose Leone was already inside, moving between the kitchen and dining room like she was right at home, because in many ways, she was. She founded Leone's in the mid-1990s as a small neighborhood Italian spot in Montclair, and when it officially opened, people caught on fast. But after a routine surgery led to complications and a 2-year coma, Rose's son Michael stepped in to run the restaurant. Instead of stepping up, he hung back, and with no one setting the pace, the whole operation started to slow down and fall apart. As soon as Gordon Ramsay arrived, the first thing that shocked him was the menu, but for all the wrong reasons. And when he got to taste the food, he was far from impressed.
Mine's full of grit. There's no seasoning in there. Everything's bland. Bland. It's bland. Pasta's bland. Duh. It's like a fucking flip-flop.
As if that wasn't enough, things quickly took a turn once Ramsay got into the kitchen.
God. Is that flounder?
It's definitely old.
Definitely old. It's green.
Everything led to a point where Ramsay had seen enough to know the situation couldn't continue as it was.
Shut the place down and just apologize. Get fucking cleaning.
With the doors closed, Ramsay spent time showing Michael what running the place really meant. Meanwhile, the dining room got a complete makeover. The changes went beyond looks. The menu was cut down to less than half its size so the kitchen could focus on doing fewer things as well. When the restaurant reopened, customers started coming back and the feedback was pretty good.
How does everything look?
Very good.
Good?
Yeah. Everyone's loving it. I mean, loving it.
Within a year, sales had jumped around 40% and the reset was paying off. Leone still operates today from the same address, sticking to what works and staying busy enough to keep things moving. However, it was a different story over at another spot. One of the kitchen's biggest issues wasn't just the food, but who was calling the shots. Mohammed Islam wanted a steady future for his family, so he opened Dylan's Lounge, mixing Irish-American comfort food with Indian flavors. The idea sounded great at first, but it was turning into a serious problem.
Who are we choosing from?
On top of that, the restaurant was bleeding cash. The management was a total mess too.
I'm the general manager.
I'm the operations manager.
And I'm a floor manager here.
With 3 people trying to run the place instead of one clear boss. Although there was a team, things didn't line up as you'd expect. Adding to the problem, the dining room looked pretty rough. There was something about the way the space was set up that didn't quite sit well with Gordon Ramsay. As soon as dinner started later that evening, things weren't exactly picking up speed. So Ramsay had to step in and check out the kitchen himself, and what he found made it impossible to continue.
Rats? Is that for rats or mice?
Food for the catch a rat.
So we have got rats here. It's rat droppings. Look at them all, everywhere.
Rats.
Oh my God. Oh no. Look at that!
The discussion pretty much ended after one discovery that said more than enough.
Rotten, you idiot. It's rotten. I've just been served a slice of tomato. No. So where is it?
At that point, it wasn't just a risk anymore, and Ramsay knew everything had to stop.
That the kitchen is closed. Right now. Out there and tell him the truth.
The cleanup became the first real step forward. Professional steam cleaners were brought in, and Ramsay wore full protective gear while the space was stripped back to safe conditions. Once the dirt was removed, attention turned to rebuilding the place from the ground up. Ramsay removed the Irish and Western dishes entirely and committed the restaurant to modern Indian cuisine. The restaurant was also renamed Purnima, and the interior was refreshed with lighter colors that made the room feel calm instead of chaotic. After reopening, business picked up quickly.
How did you like it, Whitney? It was really good.
And customers seemed a lot happier. But unfortunately, none of it lasted long. By late 2009, Purnima closed, much like this next restaurant, which was already in deep trouble before the kitchen ever got called out. Vic and Yolanda Flores opened Fiesta Sunrise after their first restaurant shut down in 2006. They didn't have the money to start over, so they turned to Yolanda's daughter, Patty, who used her good credit and life savings to fund the place and become the legal owner. But that's where the issue started. Right from the start, Patty wanted to help, but Vic wasn't exactly open to it. When Gordon asked about the finances, it turned out they were already in deep trouble less than 2 years in.
$500,000 a year. What's the debt?
But 850.
850,000. And you've only been open for 18 months.
Right.
And once he stepped into the kitchen, it wasn't hard to see why.
That's the fish we're using.
That's the fish you're using? Oh, smell that in there. Is this today's fish?
No.
Look at that. That's from Friday. Look at my fingers.
It only got a whole lot worse when Gordon checked the walk-in fridge.
It's like a cement mixer. Are you fucking stupid? You are a walking disaster.
Wasting no time, what came next snapped everyone out of it, fast.
But we're stopping service. Everything you've had to drink, eat so far is all on the house.
While trying to fix the menu the next morning, Ramsay found cockroaches crawling all over the dishes and sinks. It was obvious things had gotten out of hand and it had to be dealt with immediately. With the exterminator dealing with the infestation, it was now time for real change. Ramsay brought in someone who knew exactly how to help the restaurant raise the bar. At the same time, the dining room got a little makeover with black chairs instead of white, burgundy tablecloths, and wooden shutters taking the place of the dusty old curtains. Once Fiesta Sunrise reopened, people came back, and the response was mostly good.
Yeah. This is delicious. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Surprisingly, even the mayor swung by, and he had this to say.
Absolutely, come here again.
Cheers.
For a bit, it looked like things might be getting better, but the money troubles were way too much. They hadn't paid back taxes, and by September 2008, just a few months after filming and before the episode even aired, the IRS had taken control of the restaurant. The old Fiesta Sunrise building got taken over by Durante Rentals, and they completely transformed the inside for construction gear, putting its restaurant days behind it for good. After Fiesta Sunrise, there was another spot that looked great on paper but needed a lot more than just a fresh coat of paint. The Priory was the kind of place that caught people's attention before they even thought about eating there. The restaurant was set inside a converted 19th century convent chapel in Hayward's Heath, and just the space itself gave it a pretty unique feel. Even without any restaurant experience, Scott Atchison spent £300,000 to buy the place, simply because he was drawn to the aesthetics.
Always really wanted to be a restaurateur, I guess. This place has got so much character, so much charm that, I don't think I can fail to ever tire of walking through that restaurant with those windows.
But what Scott ended up with wasn't exactly what he expected, with mostly older folks coming in for the discounted meals. The meals were too cheap to make a real profit, and the weekly losses were pretty steep. When Gordon Ramsay tried their food, it quickly became clear that it didn't match the place at all.
It's dry. That was shocking. We're still stuck in the doldrums here, and all I've had today so far has been shit.
On top of that, what he found in the kitchen made it clear things were way off.
The bacteria growth, then you put it back out on the carvery?
Not very often, no, but some of the time, yes, we do.
Fucking hell.
The meat wasn't the only problem. There were plenty of signs that the kitchen had gotten lazy.
It's like vomit.
I've not finished the whole thing, so...
You are a lazy fucker, you know that?
When Ramsay dropped by again the next day, he couldn't believe what he saw.
Bloody hell. Fucking hell. What's that for?
Wasting no time, Ramsay made it clear things weren't going to move forward as they were.
I fucking ate here. Dirty, fucking lazy pigs. It's fucking closed.
From there, Ramsay pushed to scrap the carvery and shift the focus to a grill featuring local beef. To bring in new customers, the team went to the main train station and handed out steak sandwich samples to commuters heading home. When the place reopened, it quickly filled up with a younger crowd, bringing a fresh energy that hadn't been there before. Along with the crowd, the money coming in was a welcome surprise.
£3,200 we've taken. We did 80 covers tonight. Working that out through 80 covers, that's £40.
However, later on, the grill idea was never really promoted well, and the restaurant didn't have a clear identity anymore. By 2008, the Priory had shut down its doors for good, marking the end of its run after struggling to keep things going. But if you thought the last place was tough, wait until you hear about the chaos waiting at the next one. The problems at this place started long before anyone looked at the food. Oceanana Grill sat right on Bourbon Street, surrounded by crowds and noise, which should have made business easy. But when brothers Mo and Rami Bader took over from their father in 2008, things inside were pretty chaotic.
I don't want no sauce on that thing, man! You're the one who put the sauce on it! Oh, do me a favor, go do what you're supposed to do, stand on the floor. You want your job or you don't want your job? I want my job, but this is not... This is what the I'm telling you, you dumbass!
Adding to the chaos, the restaurant had 2 dining rooms that felt like separate spots, thanks to an extension that didn't blend in well. When Gordon Ramsay arrived, he checked the kitchen and found equipment that was not doing its job. Not surprisingly, the smell in the air made it obvious that things were out of place. As the inspection went on, the issues kept piling up.
Just smell them. Smell them.
Oh!
Should be taking out containers and sort of cleaning out your fridge from time to time. One question to you.
And then came the absolute worst.
3 dead mice.
Oh.
That was all it took to know things couldn't go on as usual.
Shut it down! Quickly!
We had to shut down the kitchen, and I do apologize about that.
The shutdown finally forced the owners to face what had been ignored, leading them to hire professional exterminators to handle the rodent problem properly. After that, the head chef was let go once it became clear he'd lost control of food quality and safety. From there, Ramsay spent time training the kitchen staff to improve what they were putting out. And slowly, the kitchen was getting back on track, along with the dining room getting a quick makeover to bring it all together. When service restarted, customers were pleased, and the food moved out of the kitchen with fewer problems. However, when the episode went public, things got unusual fast, with the restaurant suing the show not once, but twice. First over claims of selective editing, then years later, after an old clip was reposted that made them look bad. Even more shockingly, the attention helped the business, and Oceanana became a busy stop for tourists and visiting celebrities.